How's it going? It's Friday, so what does that mean? It's Financial Fridays. So this is a series where I kind of give different financial advice, different financial tips, and all this kind of stuff. And this is I had a conversation with someone, and I figured I'd talk about it. And it's kind of important to me during this time because in a later video, you'll find out why. But someone asked me, once you buy a house and you're living in a house, what should you save for after that? And I go, your next house. And so that brought me to this question. It's like, when should you start saving for another house? And my answer is immediately. As soon as you move into one, you should start planning on the next one. And I get it. A lot of you out there are probably like, I don't even have a single house right now. Like, I don't even have one. Why, And here's the thing. In everyone's journey in life, everyone starts at somewhere different. And it's not about where you start. It's about where you end up. So what you got to do is you got to look at your life and go, where do I want to end up? Where do I want to be? And you got to start making those decisions, especially financial decisions, today. And that's something that you have to start right away on and continue on. And so, once you get the first house, so once I got this house, I started immediately saving for the next house because I looked at my life and I looked at my goals and I went, you know what? This is not where I want to end up. I want, a bigger house, or I want to have, live in a certain area. And I started saving right away. Once you move into one house, you want to use some of that money to fix up your current house, right? Because you need that to be able to, be nice enough to sell it. Or if you're renting out, in my case, I'm renting this one out. So that's kind of like what you need to think of it, a house and an investment. So you might be saving for your next house, but you need to still invest in your current house right now. And I get it that some of you don't even have one house, but I've made many videos on how there's a lot of sacrifices you have to make to get a house and a lot of things you have to do. And in the long run, it's very beneficial. They've done studies. The number one study to indicate wealth is real estate. So if you want to have more financial freedoms, more available to you, because what is money really? It's more, it gives you the ability to do things that you want to do. And even, if it's vacations, if it's, buying cars or whatever it is, it gives you that ability. So I always say that you should never sell real estate unless you have to. So as soon as I bought this house, I started saving for my next house. And as soon as I get the next house, I'll start saving for the next one after that, and the next one after that. And continue. Right now, this current place, I bought about 3 years ago, and I can rent it out well above what my mortgage is because I've refinanced so many times. And that's what I'll do. I'll rent this one out, buy another house, same thing, cycle continues. And I like to buy houses that are, more fixer-uppers. Because here's the thing. If I buy a house that's already perfect, right? Everything that I can do to it's pretty much done. I can do little things right here. And let's say I bought a house and the market goes up 10%. Well, the next house that I buy will be 10% higher than it is today. So that means in order to start making actual money, I have to bring a house, and if the average rate by the next house I buy, say 3 to 5, 10 years, whatever it is, goes up 10%, I got to make sure that my house goes up more than that. And you can do that by buying in better areas that, you see like, oh, there's going to be more growth in this area than, say, that area. That's one way. Or you can fix it up. Or you could have a more of a fixer-upper, fix it up so it gains more. So that's my plan, is to slowly just buy houses, give them fixer-uppers, fix it up, make them go up more than the standard average rate of all the other homes, and just keep on doing that until I get to where I need to be. And hopefully, in the end, I'll have a nice collection of homes that I'm renting out. And what inspired me to do that is I remember this when I worked for a doctor way back in the day, before I did this, what I do now. They had 5 homes, and I was their office manager / personal accountant, I guess. And so I used to pay all those homes. And they had 5 homes, and by the time I left, they were nearly paid off all of them. So now they're sitting on the one they live in and 5 other homes that are completely paid off and they're collecting rents from. And yeah, it took them a long time to build up that stuff, obviously. But now they're sitting on a nice, nice chunk of change. And you don't want to end up in a bad financial situation towards the end of your life because you don't have much time to do anything at that point. And that is a story that happens to a lot of people. It's happening to my dad right now. It's happening to my girlfriend's parents. They make bad financial decisions when they're younger, and now they're towards the end of their life and they're kind of stuck. So that's why I think you should just always be planning on buying your next home. And I know it sucks. I know it's hard to save. But once you start doing it, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Once you just realize, okay, this part of my paycheck, boom, goes into savings, right? You should always have a savings account, right? And you should never just put it straight into like a bank account because that's going to give you like next to nothing on interest on return. So, there's mutual funds, there's safe mutual funds. So you're not just like your money's going to fall away. And, I've had this one mutual fund since 2001. I think I got it in 2001, and it's averaged, I looked at it the other day, it's averaged like 12% a year, and that's through the crash and all that kind of stuff. It's great mutual fund. I love it. But yeah, and this year it's gone up, I think like 30% or something like ridiculous like that. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're pretty good. So yeah, you don't have to put it, I suggest don't put it in a savings account, but put it in different ways where you can make money and it sits there and makes you passive income. And you should always just be saving. Even if you're not saving for another house, you should always be saving in general, putting away most of your money because life happens and it's never pretty when it does. And so you want to be prepared for that. So when should you start saving for your next house? Pretty much as soon as you buy the first one. And then right after that, and again, and again, and again, because you need to start, if possible, renting out these homes, making extra income, because then it'll make retiring easier if that's your goal is to retire. Once your house is paid off, you don't have to worry about mortgages anymore, and your life will get a whole lot easier. And that is kind of like my advice to you. I'm trying to make your life easier. All right, have a good weekend.